Awesome. Looking pretty good here. Okay. Thank you everyone for helping me out there. So you should be looking at a screen that says this month at Active Pipe, crafting authentic and engaging holiday messages. So that's what we're here to talk about today. Throughout the webinar, as per usual, feel free to drop any questions you have in the Q&A or in the chat, and I will try to answer those as I go. If I can't get them as I go, then we can definitely take a few moments at the end of the webinar as well. So as everyone knows, the holiday season is quickly approaching. And for most people, they do at least some variation of a holiday message at least once in the year. Some people even send regular holiday messages. But this time of year, these tend to be a hot topic. So the goal today is that you'll walk away with a 3-step formula that you can follow to craft any type of holiday message that's going to be authentic and genuinely interesting to your contacts. Hopefully, I'll also spark some creative ideas that you might include in your message as well. So let's get started. So let's talk a little bit just overall about email marketing strategy. We're going to go global for a minute here. So email marketing pieces tend to fall into 2 major categories, right? So they fall primarily into product marketing or content marketing. So product marketing is all about what you have to sell, which in your case is going to be your properties. So examples of things like this are your latest listings, sold reports, price improvements, anything that the primary ingredient to that email is a property, that is going to be product marketing. And you are focusing on what you are selling. This is really great as far as distributing information to the clients who need it. And it's also really great sometimes just to spark some interest in the market. Versus content marketing is all about your why and a bit of your how as well. So why are you the best option for a realtor in your area? Why do you love what you do? And why do you love your community? How can your contact buy their dream first home, etc.? So the information in this type of email is based on providing what I would categorize as education and entertainment. So people's newsletters tend to fall into content marketing, and they're including things like local events that are going on, specific information about real estate in your local area. And the great thing about content marketing is that this is providing what we would call brand awareness. So rather than saying, look at this awesome product I have, you're really targeting folks to demonstrate what we always call as you are the local expert. You're building a personalized relationship with them. You are presenting yourself as a friendly and welcoming business owner that they are going to remember, so that when the time comes, or if a time comes for someone they know, they think of you. And that's what we want to be doing with content marketing. The one thing to know here, both of these types of marketing are absolutely equally important. Both are incredibly useful. They just serve slightly different purposes, right? So you definitely, I would aim to strike a balance between the 2 of these. However, for your holiday messages, I would recommend that you definitely lean into the content marketing side of things. Take this opportunity to share what makes you and your community special. This is an especially great way to engage your past clients or further off prospective clients, like I said, so that when the time comes, you are going to be top of mind for them. So with all that in mind, that 3-step formula that I would recommend that you follow for any type of content-driven campaign, holiday campaigns included, is start with a personalized message, include some local updates. I tend to, these are labeled in the entertainment category, and then include industry-related knowledge, which are in the education category. So let's take a look at how this formula might play out. I have 2 examples that we'll go over today. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into my account here. And I have one for Thanksgiving and one that's more for the winter holidays. So this is just an example of how this formula plays out. And again, hopefully it's going to spark some ideas for you. So I've started just with a little graphic here. The one thing to know is that many of you very likely have um, a shared email in your email templates that might be a great header. So many of your brands or brokerages have already started to push out some holiday templates. So take a look in there, see if you've got anything in your shared emails. If you don't, and you need to create a graphic for yourself, a great resource for doing stuff like this is the website canva.com. It's free and it's very user friendly for any type of graphic things like this. It's not scary like Photoshop. It's very straightforward, user friendly. So I have my little header, and then step one of that formula was a personalized message. You'll notice here, I didn't make it lengthy. It absolutely does not have to be lengthy at all. Most people would not read a lengthy message anyways. So really, I always think short and sweet is your advantage. But this is a great way, again, just to build your warm and personable presence with your contacts. You'll notice that I also personalized to my contact's first name, so they get an individual greeting line there. Then below that, I've gone ahead and included some local updates or entertainment-driven information, which is step 2 of that formula. So my examples here are, first, I've included kind of punning off of, everyone is cooking so much for these holidays, right? So a great opportunity is to highlight a new local restaurant that just opened. Then below that, I've included a community service opportunity or a community engagement opportunity here. A lot of nonprofits, literally all across the country, do this particular one, Amazon Smile. So this might actually be a great thing that many of you could steal. Is if a local organization participates in Amazon Smile, then all you have to do is link to their website, and then people can donate to this particular nonprofit via shopping on Amazon, which these days, especially, everyone seems to be doing during the holiday season. Then below that, this is an interesting one because it kind of falls into our category of local updates and also somewhat real estate related, right? So including a recommendation for holiday light hanging. This is a great way to kind of have one foot in step 2 and step 3 of that formula. This is also another great way that you can start to build partnerships and relationships with other small businesses in your town, which I think, the more you can build those relationships with other small business owners, the better. So that's a great way you can do that here. Below that, I have a client testimonial. This actually tends to be I think underutilized aspect, but I think it's a really great way to, keep your upcoming clients or your past clients engaged that you're still doing great work. So including something like that is a great way to demonstrate your expertise. And then below that, I've linked to a referral page. So let's talk through how I've kind of built this email out now. So we've gone through the content. We've talked about our 3-step formula here: personalized intro, local updates, and then real estate related information. But how I built this out. So we'll go through this a bit quickly because I want to mostly stay focused on strategy today. But we have this built as a single image and then a 1 column. Now, these sections, some of you may be familiar with our Smart Feed modules here. And Smart Feed is really great if you find RSS-enabled websites or RSS-enabled blogs, because with Smart Feed, if you drop that in there, all you have to do is come to this orange icon and then paste your link in here, and all that information is going to autofill into that section in your email. Same thing if you have a brand blog, it's likely favorited over here on your right, and that information is going to autofill. However, not all websites are going to be RSS enabled. It's just a matter of life. Not all of them will be. So if that ever happens to be the case and you go in here and you paste it in and you get the little sad face and you say, oh, it's not RSS enabled, not to worry, you can always go the old-fashioned route and do what I've done here. So what I've done is I've added a one-by-one text and image, and then essentially I've added a header in, and then I've copied and pasted the first chunk of text that's on that article. I pasted in the image from the top of the article, and then I linked to that article. So it's a little bit more manual, but it's totally still doable. And that brings up another tip, is that I wouldn't worry too much about crafting the perfect 2 sentences here. Most of the time, the first 2 sentences in that article are going to be very applicable to include. So you can use that trick as well. Then scrolling down, this is another just one column section. A lot of folks have asked how to invert the colors, and you can absolutely change the colors of the text. That one's pretty obvious by coming up here on the top left. As far as the background color goes, you'll want to do that from this little settings button, and you can change the background color from there. Then I have a header, and then again, I have another one image, one text. Now you'll notice again that this is slightly different settings. So up here, I have my image on the left, but down here, my image is on the right. And you can absolutely flip it whichever way you prefer. Again, that's going to be in the settings toggle. And then this arrangement is what you want to pay attention to. Very straightforward here, choosing which on which side. All right, that's the basic breakdown of that one. And let's take a look at our other campaign for some ideas. Our holiday message. All right, so similar idea here. Remember, we're following a 3-step formula: personalized message, local updates, industry-related knowledge. It's a magic formula that's easy to follow. So I started again with another graphic. Again, take a look in your shared emails. You might have one that you can already use. I have a little personalized message. You'll notice that I am keeping things very casual here. Again, that's because I want to present myself as a warm, personable person that they could come to when the time is right. Just taking a look at my questions. Perfect. Okay. So then we have, again, personalized message. And then below that, we have some local updates. So a really great thing for the holiday season is a lot of places are, of course, doing some special events, or there's always some crazy traditions going on. So I would love to highlight those. Personally, I always find out what I should be doing around town by local businesses telling me what's going on. So it's a great opportunity to include things like that. Or again, we have some holiday specific community events going on as well. As far as someone asked in the chat, where does the actual content come from? That's a great question. So there are kind of, I would say, 2 primary sections that you could get content from. So the first is if your brand does have their own blog, or some people even have a brokerage blog, you likely have that favorited in your smart feed. So again, you would insert your smart feed, search by the little orange icon, and then if your brand or your brokerage has a blog, like I said, it is very likely over here on the right, and you would click into that and you would be able to see all of the blog posts available to you. So that's option number 1, is if you already have those available in here. As far as where you might get content otherwise, any local newspaper, any local website, magazine, if you go onto their website, you should be able to find some relevant articles to you. If you happen to subscribe to Active Pipe's real estate content, that will also be found in SmartFeed. That's just not going to be quite as local based. So your local magazines and newspapers are really great resources for that. And again, you're just taking the information directly from their article and linking directly to their article. All right. Scrolling down, so that's section or step 2 of our formula, which was local updates. Then I just wanted to show off another option you have for including a personalized message is you can include a video. And I've seen many variations of these with like happy holidays from all of us at blah, blah, blah realty. So that's kind of a fun way you can include a personalized message. You could do it from your office. You could do it from your family if you're sending this out just for yourself, so on. Great way to personally wish people well during the holidays. Then below that, I have included a third part of our formula, which is real estate related tips and tricks. So I found an article that I've linked here. The other thing I'll point out is that you can include GIFs or GIFs. So not everyone knows this about ActivePipe, but anytime you have a image section, or if you happen to be using a split like I am, anytime you have the ability to add an image in your email, you can upload a GIF. So if you want some action and motion, you can absolutely upload that and it will play through the GIF in your email. All right. So as far as breaking how I constructed this email, again, we have a image, one column, and then you'll notice, obviously, I flipped the formatting of this. So I just wanted to show you what you could possibly do. So rather than having a side-by-side image and text, I've gone vertically here. So if you wanted to do something like that, I have used the 2-column text followed by the 2x2 image text, or yeah, image text. So you'll see when I drag that in, exactly that formula. Again, how you change the font color, highlight it, up top, choose your little A button, and then you can choose whatever color you need. Again, with the background, you choose settings, and you can choose your color in here. The one tip or trick that I would recommend to you, if you're doing anything super customized like this, where you're changing font colors and all that fun stuff, make use of the duplicate button. So change your coloring on this one section and then duplicate it. And then you don't have to change all those settings again. And it's just a copy and paste of that whole module. So if I did that here, I would say, okay, I've got all the green and the white how I want it. Now I'm going to duplicate, and now I have it in 2. Then I have a header, a video, another header, and then again, we have this 1x1, and I've added a button. As far as adding a button goes, whenever you come to the end of a chunk of text, you'll go up here to this button right smack dab in the middle of your toolbar that looks like a little rectangle with an arrow. Click on that, and that's how you can add a button that links to any web address. All right. Making sure I'm hitting some of these questions as I go. Linking specifically to an article. So as far as how you can link text, so all you have to do is you include your text, then you highlight it, you come up to the center of your toolbar using what this little chain link icon is. Chain link equals hyperlink. So you click on that, and then you can paste in your web address and click continue, and that will hyperlink it. All right. All right, so I think we are good to go on looking at those examples. So let me come back here to my lovely little PowerPoint. All right, so we've gone over this formula. I've beaten it at this point, but this is just a great way to check yourself as far as what you're including. Again, some creative ideas that you might include in this campaign. On the left are things that we've already talked about. On the right are some other ideas. So your favorite holiday recipe. That's one of my favorite ideas. I particularly enjoy food. So restaurant openings and recipes, I think, are a great way. If you wanted to compose something of your own that puns off of the idea of the 12 days of Christmas. I think doing something like the 12 days of house hunting tips might be kind of cute. Other related ideas that fall into the more real estate related could be something like home maintenance tips. You know, if you're up north, that one, freezing pipes is always the one that comes to mind for me. Winter curb appeal tips. Do I wrap the bushes or do I not? I don't know. You tell me. Tell me in your article. Then other ideas that you could do are hosting something like a donation drop off at your office. So a lot of places are nonprofits during the holiday season do toy drives. So if you have one that's particularly special to you, near you, you could host a donation drop off. That's a really great way to get engagement. And then the last one, you could always include something like an end of the year market recap or analysis. So the entire idea of all of this and what this accumulates to, right? The goal is that we're going to boost our brand and awareness, we're going to generate some curiosity, and we're going to captivate our contacts. So this is going to be really interesting content that is relevant to them and your local community, because at the end of the day, you're not just selling houses, you're selling experiences, right? So this is a great way to demonstrate that. All right, I'm going to take a deeper look at our questions. So if you've got any, put them in the chat now and I will try to go over them. Oh boy. Okay, so let's see. Oh, name of the website that has great and easy to use graphics. So it is canva.com and I just chatted it. Oh, not Canvas. Oh, autocorrect. Canva.com. It's great. It's super user friendly. Looks like we also got a few questions about GIFs or GIFs, however you want to pronounce it. So GIFs or GIFs are just another file type. So if you want to create one, I would say give it a good old Google, and there are plenty of sites out there that you can add in several images and then export it or download it as a GIF. And then you would be able to import it into ActivePipe as a GIF file after that. So if you already have one that exists, then it's easy because you're just uploading it. But if you want to specifically create one, there are plenty of website tools out there that you can upload several images in, and then it'll export as a GIF. All right, let me see if I got any other. Oh, asking specifically about the referral. First of all, thank you for the compliment on my verbiage. As far as where you send them from that link, it's dependent on how you kind of do referrals. So if you have a spot on your website, like I know some people do, where people can specifically fill out a form for a referral, send them to your website, right? If you do not have a referral form on a website or something like that, you can always link a button to open up an email that goes directly to your email. So let me show you a trick. In our help center, also, if you do not have our help center link, let me chat that to you and definitely bookmark this. So in our help center, there's this article about placeholders, and placeholders are exactly what you would use to link to your email address. So I will show you specifically. You will need to use this one. So your user email is going to be this. And then if I wanted to create a button that opened up an email directly to this user email, what I would do is create an email. I'm blasting through this just as an example. If I add a button, which again, top center button with the rectangle and little arrow sign, I can make it say whatever I want, since we're talking about referrals. And then what I want to do is I want to put in mail to : and then paste that user email in there. And that'll link out to your email address. So again, I'll show my screen again. So name it whatever you want and then mail to your user email. And that's called a placeholder. You can also, again, link it to your own website if you have a referral page. All right. Let me see what else I can get answered in here. Great. It looks like I've gotten through most of these. A couple of other things that I will send your way before our time is up here is we actually have a blog post that is a direct recap of everything we've spoken about today with screenshots of the campaigns that we talked about. So if you need a reference for later, this is a great place to go back to. So I'm going to drop this into the chat again. But you can always find our blogs pretty easily if you just go to our general ActivePipe website, activepipe.com, pretty straightforward there. We have a tab called blog, and then these are great resources for you. As you may or may not know, we're based out of Australia, but we're starting to write more content driven for US folks. So hopefully this becomes really useful for you all. But again, this is a great way for this specific webinar. If you need a recap, we got the exact same thing going on here. Again, if you need some back to the basics help as far as crafting the email goes, a little bit more in depth of the how-to, I would definitely recommend that you head over to our support website. So support.activepipe.com. And in here, there are training videos and articles about pretty much almost anything you could possibly want to do in ActivePipe. We pretty much have an article about it. So if you need a little bit more details on, remind me, how do I do that button again? This is a great place to go. All right. Well, with that, it looks like we are almost right on time here. Thank you all for joining me today. I am looking forward to seeing some creative holiday emails come out. We will see you next week at our next session of this month at ActivePipe. All right. Have a great day, everyone.